Bahamas. Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the host and guests and not necessarily the opinions of the owners of Global Communications Network and the operators.
Today can be the turning point in your life by making a simple decision.
Fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street. Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women. Welcome to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm. And as always, it's a pleasure to be in your company today. Thank you so much for tuning in on this beautiful Thursday afternoon. Today is the 21st day of the month of July and the good year of our Lord 2022. And I'm trying to figure out how this year going by so fast because July just reached. So how could it possibly be the 21st of July already? I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I digress. We are going to be talking today about an issue that affects thousands of Bahamians, particularly those who live here in New Providence. And this show sort of was birthed, I think it was 3 days ago, when one of my guests called into the show and said, if you want to know what's really going on with the buses and our plight, you need to invite us on. And so on the air, I said, okay, let's do it on Thursday. And Thursday's here. And as promised, they have made their way into the studio to discuss the plight of the bus drivers, because as you all know, they are asking for an increase in fares, because they say that the last one was in 2008 and ain't nothing in the Bahamas or the world still the same price of what it was in 2008 and 2022, except the things that are free, like the sun and the moon and the stars. But everything else has gone up. The cost of living has drastically increased. And with this conflict now going on between Russia and Ukraine, the ramifications of that, we are all feeling it, particularly those of us who drive vehicles that require gasoline, etc. So if we feeling it, they feeling it. But yet they have been sort of handcuffed into not being able to increase their fares to keep up with the times. Now, on the flip side of this, the government is saying, the people catching hell as it is. We've just come through Dorian. We've just come through a pandemic. A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people still hurting. And it would be unconscionable for us at this time to try to add to their burden. So what do? We are, unless something has changed since the last time we talked about this, at an impasse. And they're here to tell us their side of the issue today and talk about possible solutions to the problem. So I'm going to allow the gentleman to introduce themselves. Um, Starting with you, Mr. Taylor, you can look into your camera and introduce yourself.
Mr. Samuel Taylor, Public Relations Officer for Bahamas Unified Bus Drivers Union.
Okay. And?
General Secretary Corbett Colebrook.
Okay, Mr. Corvell Cooper.
Colebrook.
Colebrook. All right. So, Mr. Colebrook and Mr. Taylor, welcome to GPS. Thank you both so much for being here today.
Thank you.
All right. So, has anything changed since the last time y'all called my show? Y'all are we still at this impasse?
We are still at the same junction.
Okay. So that means that you're still not seeing any light at the end of the tunnel as it relates to your desire to increase these fares.
No, not as yet. Not as yet.
Okay.
But we are hoping to sit down with the minister in a few days or so to go back over what we have implemented, what we advised her, and hopefully that it comes to fruition.
So, same minister who y'all was saying y'all was tired of talking to y'all and talking to the PM, y'all getting back to the table with the minister now.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So, what are some of the things that you have been recommending that you feel are falling on deaf ears?
Basically, one, the fare increase.
Mm-hmm.
That was something from 2008. We got 25-cent raise that brought it up to $1.25.
Okay.
From then after, it was back and forth, back and forth. It's not a good time right now. Hold on, the economy. But the economy was at a boost between 2009 until the country had shut down
Right.
for the pandemic.
Right.
So it was no reason why we shouldn't have gotten that fare increase. We shouldn't have to come to this now.
If it had been dealt with then.
Right.
Help me to understand the system, because you are not government run, correct?
Correct.
So how is it that they are able to put a cap on what you can charge if you guys are a private business? Help me understand how this works. And I need you to make sure you're talking close enough to the microphone so everybody can hear you, okay?
Well, Ms. Malcolm,
Talk close enough to the microphone.
what it is that we are under the Road Traffic Act.
Okay.
And by being underneath that, fare increases is controlled by the government.
Okay.
Now, you would have known that in 2016, I think it's 2018, I'm not sure that, taxi drivers was giving an increase. We said just say from 2016 to within this time frame, they have gotten what, 2 increases.
Mm-hmm.
The public service drivers have not. That's us, the bus drivers.
Mm-hmm.
We also just found out the other day that our brothers in Freeport hasn't gotten an increase either, and they are now asking for their increase also.
Okay.
So it has been, but that's 14 and more than 14 and a half. It's July, November the 1st would make it 15 years from the increase.
Mm-hmm.
So we are way over the standards that we are working on at that time.
Okay, so explain to us what it is like to be an operator and what you are. Jason, you adjusted that, but I'm not sure that you should have, because we have his camera. So just use his camera to bring him up. So explain to our audience what it is like to be an operator, some of the expenses that you face, the responsibilities that you face on a day-to-day basis. You know, what is it? What are you guys facing?
Let's start with the responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
You have drivers are up 3 o'clock in the morning. Some get up 4 o'clock, some get up 5 o'clock. When you hear the time, you say, what, 3 o'clock in the morning? Yes. You have people that have to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
They depend on their driver, not any run-of-the-muck driver,
Mm-hmm.
their driver. You have mothers that has one driver and she will call her driver. They has the driver's number. The driver, yes, he's on. Let's just take the Michael route 16A, 16B. That driver, she calls. Where are you? All right, check on Michael by Uncle Michael police station. All right, are you ready? All right, don't come. I'm coming right now to the corner for you. Reason being, it is very dangerous to be having women there walking and through these dark corners. to catch a bus. I've been driving over 11 years. I have came across many incidents that have happened to females walking on the road. One very disheartening one was I was going to pick up a customer of mine. So I was working in 19 Nassau Village. Came there, she laying on the ground. The gentleman came with a gun to rob her, and then he gunbutted her. But we don't get thanks, you know.
Have you added him to the stream? Still.
Nobody.
But even without the video, add his camera to the stream. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Still, the average person that doesn't catch the bus, look at us as yes, or they just running up and down. No, we are an essential service.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you look at what we are paying every day, with the price of fuel going up, but it's not only fuel. Parts have to be bought, oil have to be bought, daily living have to be maintained.
Mm-hmm.
Not only is the buses, but remember your body have to be maintained. But with the price skyrocketing, how do you live on what you've been living on from 2008 at July of 2022?
How many bus drivers are a part of your union?
150 plus.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
drivers.
And how many entities are there? And in other words, how many bus? I take it you don't represent all of the buses.
We represent all of the drivers and some owners.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, but you don't represent Grand Bahama, for instance.
No, we have a branch out.
Right.
To
So it's
Grand
just New
Bahamas,
Providence. So
yes,
Grand
yeah.
Bahama would have its own separate grouping.
Yes, but we'll be branching in the near future out to the Family Islands.
Okay. So we know that you provide a vital service. I don't think anybody is disputing that. Clearly, your service is desperately needed. And so I don't think that anyone is saying, not in support of you to that degree, because we all know that without the buses running, a lot of people wouldn't be able to get where they need to go. So I think everybody sympathizes with you. But it's all about survival for most people.
But persons have to understand that this isn't something that we just brought up on Monday and say we're going to fight to get this.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, it was brewing from 2008, 2009, 2010, come straight up. This isn't nothing new that we throw on the people. This is nothing new.
Right.
Because at some point when we came back on the road in July, person started to come on the bus and just basically gave us $2 and said, we know your plight because we was off the road for so long. Some person just gave us the $2.
Mm-hmm.
I'd just walk up and you say, hold on, I've changed for you. Don't worry about it. We know your plight.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what are some of the recommendations you've been making to the minister to try to alleviate the situation? Because I'm assuming that you're not just going to say we want more money, but you have some kind of plan that you've been offering. From what you can tell us, what kind of discourse have you been having with the minister?
When we meet with the minister or any minister, there's always a plan.
Yeah, because it's been going on for a while.
It's been going on. This fight has been going on for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what she wants is that they want a system to be put in place. Okay. Now we do know that previously somebody did try a unification project, but that failed massively. We tried our own. It didn't cost the payment people or the payment government anything, and that was a success. Now we have put that proposal that has been in writing, that has been delivered to the minister from November. We delivered it again just last month to Road Traffic Authority Board.
Mm-hmm.
It is a shift system, okay? Whereas every bus and all the routes are split in half, and you'll have some drivers work from 5 o'clock in the morning to 12, 1 o'clock, and the other side work from 1 to 7, like a regular shift.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, we showed them, because we know for a fact that it could cut down on our fuel. Okay, and it would cut down on, like you said, probably the racing in the road and stuff like that, because everybody would start at 2 points and go within either 5 to 10 minutes, depends on the size of the route of each other, or if we have to, we'll bring everybody in closer. But they'll be on one line, controlled by supervisors, senior bus drivers, drivers who had gotten together and selected their supervisors, and they report to them. Modern technology will use the WhatsApp system that they use. It was already tried and proven that it works. Okay, and first bus out, you will see how far you reach. They check the clock. They send the next bus. Section does the same thing, and we'll go around. If there's a breakdown between a bus, flat tire, or mechanical problem, the next bus will bring themselves in to cover the hole. If the driver or the bus cannot make it, and it is down the day before, it could call ahead the supervisor. He will bring in somebody from the evening shift to cover the morning shift. And if that bus is fixed in time, he will come in the evening shift slot. If there's a driver, like any hotel or something like that, if you want to change shift, you could change shift. Okay, this is something that the union would like to see happen, because when it was tried, then the then controller, he didn't like it because there was no problems on the road. The head of the traffic division called in and said, "Man, this is a beautiful system. We had no problem." But to implement this system, it has to be signed off by cabinet.
So why has there been pushback, in your view, to that idea? Because here's the thing. I went to college in the 1980s. And back then, in New Jersey, where I went to school, they had a very effective bus system. You had a schedule. You knew exactly what time the bus was supposed to be at the stop where you were going to go. And if you missed that bus, you knew that another bus would be along 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later, whatever. This was back in the 1980s. They had a system back then where you dropped your change into a device that was drop box that was built into the, or you could have bought a card that would give you passes for a certain amount of time. So in other words, if I know that I'm traveling, I lived off campus for my first semester. So if I know that I will need to ride to the campus 20 times in a month, based on my class schedule, I buy a package for 20 days or whatever it is. You had options. This was back in the 1980s. We talking 2022, and we still can't get it together. What is the holdup? I don't understand why there would be a rejection to an obvious plan for a system to work. What are your thoughts on that?
It's easy. It's not their plan. Their plan is to spend that was $200 million.
For what?
Big, beautiful buses, big terminals, all types of stuff. But our plan will cost the government nothing.
Big, beautiful buses to ride on these little roads?
Yes.
No, say the right thing. Not these roads. Would you say it on Tuesday?
I can't remember.
But the pothole in the road, these bad roads.
Okay.
Right. Don't say these small, say the bad roads. That's what they want.
So they want to purchase buses that y'all would then lease from? I don't understand.
No, you will now be an employee.
I see.
Of the government.
An employee of the government.
Yes, and you'll be paid a set salary.
Okay, so they want to make it systemized to the point, and when I say they, is this just an idea of this administration, or are you talking past administrations?
Past administrations.
So the last proposal that was presented to you was from a past administration with this idea.
Past.
Okay, several administrations passed. Okay. Y'all obviously are businessmen, and y'all rejected that idea. And I honestly can say I'm happy you did, because I don't see why you need to be another employee of the government in order for this system to work.
See, and it would also happen, even if you put in a system with a card, you got to have a reliable internet service in order for that card to be working. Because the person can come in all day, bing, 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 bing. And when you check your receipts for the end of the day, it might only read 10 people, but you might have had 60 people. So that means they are at a loss now.
Well, that's not quite how it worked. The way that it worked is that once I purchased a card, that card had a start date and a completion date, right? So if I paid for a card, say for a month on your route, it had an expiration date. You understand what I'm saying? So you know that once that person jumps on that bus, they would have covered that cost up front. You see what I'm saying? But if my card ends for the end of this month and next month comes around, it's your duty as a driver to see this is expired. You need to go buy another month's supply of riding on this bus. And what it did was it allowed persons to prepay, but you had routes. So for instance, I couldn't pay the same dollar to go from here to Cable Beach.
Mhm.
That dollar got me so far. And then I would have to, depending on the route that I'm going, because if I had to take 3 buses, let's say I'm going to a part of town that I couldn't just go straight there. If I had to take 3 different buses to get there, then you're talking 3 different routes. So I would have had to cover that cost. You understand what I'm saying?
100%.
So I don't understand. Anyway, we have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good afternoon, Michelle. How are you doing today?
Excellent. How are you?
All right, thanks. And good afternoon, dear guest.
Good afternoon.
I want to make a quick comment and then I'll ask your guest some questions, Michelle. And my comment is, well, let me just get into it. To your guest, I am a Bahamian who is unable to see, blind. I do not use the public bus system in this country anymore, and indeed I haven't used it for a long time for a particular very bad experience I had. I was going out somewhere one day, getting off on Shirley Street, almost opposite Morrow's, where it used to be. Stepping out of the bus driver didn't allow me to get off completely before he pulled off. Now here it is, I'm a blind gentleman stepping off the bus. There was a wall in the front of me that I didn't know was there. Stepping off with the person I was with, slammed into the wall and ricocheted back into the bus. And the bus had pulled off. If God help, God was with me that day, because if I had fallen and rollen on the ground, I probably would have gotten killed. And then another experience I had, getting on the bus, the bus did not even wait for me. Again, a blind person with a stick in my hand to sit down in the seat before they pulled off. I nearly fell flat on my butt in the bus. Those 2 experiences turned me off from the bus system here in the Bahamas, or in Nassau, I should say. Now, why am I saying that? While I support entrepreneurship, it is for me as a Bahamian that the time is overdue, as Michelle was alluding to just a while ago, that we don't just have a unified private bus system, but I dare say we need to have a unified public busing system, wherein there would be no private owners, but there would be shareholders in the company or the corporation, and persons benefit from the profits generated, a quasi-government private kind of a thing. Because the day is going to come, gentlemen, that the price, the fare for riding these buses will be so prohibitive that you're going to lose business, and all of you, or if not all of you, a lot of you will go out of business because you're not unified in that manner that I just spoke. And if the bus system had been unified in this country long years ago, as Michelle was indicating it is in the States, I dare say more Bahamians probably would have been using the bus system and leaving their cars at home, i.e., the bus drivers, bus owners would have been making more money, or the busing corporation or whatever the entity might have been. So I am one of those Bahamians who, while I appreciate the entrepreneurial spirit, for the busing system to have so many owners in it, to me is defeating the purpose, because rightly so, but problematically so, everybody's going after the profit margin. I respect that, but that is going to drive you folks out of business eventually, because the consumer cannot take the high prices anymore with gas going up, and then of course you folks have to raise your prices to stay in business. It's no fault of yours, of course, that the prices are going up, but nonetheless, they are. And my last thing, by way of a question, Michelle, to your guest is your union considering purchasing electric vehicles, wherein you don't have to be buying gas, because there won't be any gas needed to run the buses. You'll be electrically powered, and from all indications, an electric vehicle is far much more economical and inexpensive to operate. Michelle, I'll hang up and listen to the response of you guys.
Thanks for calling, JT. Who wants to tackle that?
Okay, one point that he made is Morris. Morris was back on Shirley Street, what is now the Auto Mall. That was many years ago, late 80s. But what he said about the unified busing system, that with the unified busing system, that's something that can work out, but it needs plenty groundwork. Plenty groundwork. The government started a unification project, which Route 17, which started out at $1.50, while we were still at $1.25.
Mm-hmm.
That project started out, and that was not a profit at all, because it was not properly, what word should I use? Properly thought about. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the bus stops for that route went down in the speed of a moment. But we who asked for bus stops to make sure that our drivers, our members, do not receive tickets, are still waiting
Mm-hmm.
for bus stops to go down. But the 17 route, those bus stops went down immediately
Mm-hmm.
for the unification project. And back to what he said about the rogue drivers. Back then, it wasn't no system.
Is there a system now?
There wasn't no system back then. It was
Is there a
no
system
law
now?
and order.
Is there a system now? It doesn't seem to be have a system now.
Right now, it's more of a better system than it was then.
Mm-hmm.
When the union formed, we met with all of our members and we told them to take the news out. We're not tolerating certain things.
Okay.
If you get in trouble and you know you're wrong, we go in there with you. But if you're wrong, say you're wrong. So plenty of things had stopped. Back then, you had drivers riding around with music blasting loud, every bus in Nassau. Now, it has a fraction. And gentlemen, they'll still keep their music at a certain level. One or two still have TVs in their bus, but those TVs now are with everybody watching Netflix now.
Mm-hmm.
So those drivers just entertain their passengers with Netflix, a good movie, whilst they take them home in the afternoon. Some in the morning have on the inspiration station on the television.
Mm-hmm.
So plenty of things have turned around in the busing system from since this union came in.
Right.
We didn't just sit down and allow the drivers to do whatever they feel like. No.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. And yet we still have so far to go. Because we still see, well, first of all, which routes does your union cover?
We cover all the routes.
Okay.
From 1 to 21.
Okay. But yet we still see, because of the, for want of a better word, lack of a strong enough system, we still see where drivers are racing against each other, trying to be the first to get to that fare. And I know I want you guys to break it down for our audience at some point during the show to explain why they're doing that, because of the expenses that you have to cover. But we still see where there's reckless driving. I think only just this morning, I watched a bus go through a red light. And I was like, wow, dude, I mean, not what most Bahamians do, where you just speed through the light at the beginning because you think you could make it.
Mhm.
But the light had been changed for a good couple of seconds, and he still went through it. You know what I mean? But I understand why they do that, why everybody hustling, because you're all hustling, trying to get the same couple of dollars out there, So is this a robust enough system that you have? And if not, what do you need to do? Because if you're telling the government, I don't want to be your employee, then you guys have to do something to clean up your act so that they don't request that of you. So we're going to talk about that. We got to take a break, though. Let's take this break. On the other side of the break, we're going to talk up to these bus drivers about how this union can do a better job of creating a system by which all of their members are benefiting and don't have to be chasing after each other for these couple of dollars. And then we're also I want to hear more. You guys need to let it out, man. I need to hear what your expenses are. We need to know what you're facing. Y'all trying to be nice and politically correct? Bring it. Let's hear what's going on. Because right now, the public ain't on y'all run. So this is your opportunity to bring your case. We're going to take a break and we'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for a rims, paint, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Glasses love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun. Welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here with Samuel Taylor and Corvell Colebrook from the Bahamas United Bus Drivers Union. I got that right? Bahamas Unified Bus Drivers Union.
Yes.
And we had a nice little talk during the break. I tell them, I bring y'all in here to be politically correct. Y'all making this a boring show. Bring this fire. Let us know what's going on. That's what you come here for. So, all right. So prior to the break, somebody brought up the idea of the electrical vehicle. Why is that not a better option?
Well,
come closer to your microphone.
We have to look at the cost of things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? When you look at the cost to bring in a vehicle, most likely, and I'm not going to say most likely, you're going to the bank to borrow the money. The banks right now are a little bit funny on lending money to bring in new buses.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to bring in something that the banks don't really know about is another thing.
But you say don't know about, what do you mean?
Well, the bank doesn't know about no electrical.
Oh, come on, man. Come on. It's 2022. Yeah. The government of the Bahamas just got a fleet of vehicles for its service that are electric. They have a company here in the Bahamas that sells electric vehicles. What you mean the bank don't know about that?
Yeah, that's a company that brings in, but the bank doesn't know about bringing in no electric bus. The thing is now the bank want to make sure that you could pay back their money.
But they do that with any bus.
No, they don't do any bus. The banks are very selective. You know, it's really hard trying to bring in brand new buses because I understand now. This is $80,000 that you're borrowing from the bank to bring in these vehicles.
Right.
The bank wants that money back. Right now, we have a lot of buses on the road, and this is our cry.
Mm-hmm.
You have a problem now paying your bank bill because of the high cost of living.
Right.
Okay. You have a bus comes in, the driver is driving, he brings you your money.
Mm-hmm.
The driver still have to go buy fuel. Then the driver have to have something to bring home.
How much are you spending on fuel every day?
You're looking at 100 to 130 per day.
How much is that work out to approximately for
At
you?
$7 a gallon, I spent $114 yesterday. That was 15 gallons.
How would your life be different as a bus driver if you didn't have to buy gas every day?
You want to buy diesel every week, great.
But that's what an electric fleet offers you.
Yeah.
You pay a little bit more upfront, but you save in the long run because you ain't buying $150 gas every day.
What is I gotta look at the maintenance issue. I gotta look at everything, and then the most important thing, I gotta also look at the size of that bus to make sure it can fit on Nassau small.
So you're saying that there are no buses the size of the buses that you operate now that are electric, as far as you're aware?
Not as we're aware of in Nassau, Bahamas. Now, the biggest bus that we have seen right now that's around would be the ones that
Bahamas Experience
is operating.
Uh-huh.
That cannot go.
Because that's too big.
That is too big. That cannot go into the city. Remember now, we covering Cap Road I understand.
A bunch of narrow streets. I get it.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So imagine you trying to turn.
No, I get it. It can't be too big,
It can't be too
but
big.
it can't be too small
That
either.
is the reason why you will see that most of the buses on the roads are the Toyota Coaster and the Nissan Civilian because of the size of that bus.
Right.
And you don't have bus stops.
And you don't have bus stops.
So
No.
you don't.
No, hold on.
So what we have a call on the line, right? So what you're saying, and coming you right now, caller. So what you're saying is there's not an electrical bus out there the right size for your needs.
That's correct. Remember now, they put down sidewalk, but they don't put down laybys for the buses.
All right, let's go to the phone lines. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good afternoon, Michelle. How you doing?
Good. How are you? You need to turn down whatever you're listening to us on so that we don't get that feedback, please.
Okay, man.
And go ahead and talk. We're listening.
Yeah. Yes. Hello, everybody on the panel. I'm Flowers, Anthony Flowers. I guess your panelists should be familiar with me.
Hi, Mr. Flowers.
Yeah. I'm going. Well, I'm going to concern the bus fare and how it's really necessary and extremely necessary that the bus get their bus owners get their increase.
Mm-hmm.
And what I would say there, right? Now I was listening to the show, and so many persons were sharing their bad experience. I saw, as I've been in this business for 35 years,
Mm-hmm.
and the bad experience is not what how people express. Now, the persons with bad experience may be the one that call in, but I've been in this business long enough to know that there's more good experience than bad.
Okay.
And what I would like to inject with the electric vehicles, the purchase the electric vehicle is going to cost twice this much is what you pay for a gas vehicle or a diesel vehicle right now. Right now, the retail cost for a bus is $120,000, and with the exemption duty, you will bring it in about for $80,000. But the retail cost is $120,000. And the thing that what we need to also look at bringing in electric vehicles, there has to be in partnership with the government. If you can't bring an electric vehicle and for a public service vehicle and have no charging port, no place where you can charge this vehicle up. Because if you can use $100 worth of fuel in little under 10 hours, what do you think the usage of using the electric vehicle, where are these ports, charging ports is going to be? See, when they were trying to get the electric vehicles into the United States, they have electric vehicles, but the license companies make sure that gas stations now accommodate these electric vehicles, whereby they can stop and they can get a 10, 15 minutes charge, and they will be all set. It is not just the bus itself will have it will be electric and not being able to charge, because if you were to look at the cost itself is just extremely high.
The cost of what?
These electric vehicles. Now, the Minister of Transport, that's on her portfolio to bring forth electric vehicles to express this to the bus owners. But it has to be other things that are in place before anyone can invest double money on electric vehicles. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Are you following me up, Michelle?
I hear what you're saying, but what you are saying doesn't sound insurmountable to me. It just sounds
okay.
it just sounds like
Okay.
something that needs to be put in place, but it doesn't sound like it's so impossible to be done.
No, I'm not saying it's impossible.
Right.
No, I didn't say that. I never said that.
Right.
I said that the provision, there
Mhm.
has to be a provision for a public service. It's not a car now. You can drive your car out on a quarter tank
Mhm.
and get back home on that quarter tank.
Mhm.
But you can't drive a bus out. You understand? With a charge and thinking that that charge is going to take care of that particular bus for the whole day. I can charge my bus at home, but I need ports. I need charging ports, different locations that I can able to maintain my vehicle on a full 12-hour shift.
Right.
This is what I'm saying. This is what is necessary. This is why we have to do the field work before we can really suggest or put it in place whereby it becomes a demand before we really did the homework.
Let me
Yes,
just make this clear. I am not saying that we should go out tomorrow and buy a bunch of electric buses without a proper system in place.
Yeah.
One of the things that I think is a problem in this country is that we spend years talking about why something can't work as opposed to making it work, putting in place what you need to make it work so it can work. Because the amount of time that we talk about, oh, you need charging station and you need so get the doggone thing together, put the system together, get your charging station. Why is that so difficult?
Understand this, Michelle.
Please.
First of all,
Understand what I'm
understand.
saying.
Hold on,
The
sir.
charging-
Mr. Flowers, can you give me a second, please? BEC sucks, you know.
You what?
BEC sucks. My current was off the other day for 2 hours. You cannot trust the electrical system. They say you're going to charge something and you don't know if they can take it. That's one thing you got to look at. Buying a big electrical bus to put on national roads. All right, imagine that bus burning now, versus them little cars speeding up and down, flying. Then the person say bus stop. Then you look at that big sidewalk. People done complain about our small buses. And they blowing. Imagine a big
No, I'm not.
big bus.
Well, you
No,
guys are
listen
saying
to
that such a size that you need does not exist. That's what you're saying to me. So, I'm not saying that we should go with buses that are too big for what your reality is. Okay,
So
so
that means we have to wait till they bring the size down. That's what we're trying to say. We have to wait till they bring the size down.
so you're trying to tell me that nowhere in the world are buses the size that you need being made that are electric.
We haven't seen that yet.
All right.
I mean,
Carl, are you there?
yes, I'm right here. I mean, it is possible. I mean, it is. They have electric vehicles in all sizes, buses in all sizes.
That's what I thought.
And it can be. I mean, it is not rocket science to turn even these buses that we drive now to make them electric. That is even possible. That this can also be adjusted. But the thing is that my concern is I'm very interested in electric vehicles. As a matter of fact, on your show the other day when they called, I spoke to my experience in London. When I was in London, those buses that they use is electric, and it was the way they use them is very efficient. But the thing is, their government, the government of the UK is in control of the buses. The government control the buses. They're owned by the government.
Right.
But our buses is not owned.
They're privately owned. I get that.
Right. These are private enterprises.
Mhm.
But the thing is that for this system now to become under one system, is that there's some layout has to be made. Now, as much owners that I spoke with, they are all for it, but there's a cost to it. And is the government willing to lead the way, and that every franchise owner will be served fairly? And that's the concern of one unity, one ownership. I mean, the one company owns all the buses.
Mhm.
You see, this is the issue. The layout of this has to be made by a proper authority, that a person like myself, Flowers Enterprises, will not be kicked on the side.
All right. Thank you so
Serious
much.
yeah.
Thanks so much for calling. Let's let these gentlemen respond. Okay, gentlemen, how do you respond to that?
For one, what I've been saying for the past many years, there's no such thing as franchise holders or owners. These plates are owned by the Bahamas government. Okay? The Bahamian people.
Right.
So the government can call for these plates at any day. So franchise, no, they're just managing for the government because the government don't want to take it on.
Okay.
Now, when I spoke with you the other day, the government want the system to be the way it is. Because if they wanted the system to change, they will do certain things that we try to implement. One, road traffic. They inspect buses. They inspect all the public service vehicles. So when persons call and say the buses break down and it don't have no air condition, you have to put that on road traffic. Vehicles are supposed to be roadworthy on the road. Emission control, they shouldn't be smoking. You have some buses out there that are falling apart, seats tear up, smoking, no air condition at all.
But they pass inspection.
But they pass inspection. How do they pass inspection? Only God one knows. So you have to put that on road traffic. Right now, they say they don't have enough persons, bodies, to do the amount of work and the inspections on the road to make sure everybody is doing what they're supposed to be doing. Excuses, excuses, excuses. The last controller what was there, he might have been short manpower, but he had people on the road. Now, dead end.
So why do you say that the government wants the system to be broken? Who benefiting from it being broken?
The more the people, the more persons complain, the more persons complain, the more they have a way to push in and put persons on a salary. You done now have problems with taking care of your own who are employed by government. So now to take on a next set.
So you're saying that this chaos or this poor organization, they want it to be this way so that the public can complain enough so that they can justify what they want to do to take over the busing system.
Exactly. Because at points we tried to implement a dress code. Just like this year, what I'm in.
Right.
We are being denied, keep being denied.
For dress code?
For dress code.
10 times.
On what grounds?
10 times.
All you need is a signature.
So why are they denying it? What are they telling you? Why
this
not happen?
minister say he can't sign without the cabinet approval. The next minister say the same
For
thing.
a dress code.
For a dress code.
But it's in the Road Traffic Act that all he has to do is sign.
Put a signature on it.
And remember now, the government isn't buying the uniforms. The government isn't buying the bus drivers' clothes. The drivers are buying their own clothes. But yet they don't sign that. Every minister for the last several years, we have placed that on the desk. We have asked them to sign that. They have refused, saying the same thing. And it never goes to cabinet. And when we bring it back a couple months later, it's the same thing.
Have you presented the government, and when I say the government, I'm not just talking Davis administration, because obviously this fight has been going, like you say, it's been since 2008, since you had a fair increase. Have you presented to any administration a comprehensive plan as to what it would look like to improve the busing system with the support of government?
Yes, we did. The only minister that was behind us and was pushing us along the way and gave us a good hand was Minister Folks.
Okay. Which Minister Folks is that? Would that be Dion?
Dion.
Okay.
Yes.
Mhm.
He was
Right.
there for a short period
Right.
of time.
Right.
So what we are now implementing, drivers, go ahead, purchase your shirts, and we'll do it ourselves until they start get mad and complain and say, why we do it? Hey, we want our drivers to look good in uniform.
Wow. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hey, Michelle, how you doing?
Excellent. How are you?
Okay, I was listening to them. Now, they're a bit ingenuous. I drove bus from the 80s to 90s when the buses was $1. And it was always chaotic, and I'll tell you why. It's a competition-driven business. You have a lot of plates out there on the road. And certain hours of the day is when you make most of your money.
Okay.
It's during the peak. When everybody trying to get to work in the morning, when school children come out, and then when work comes out, and people get home, that's when you make the most of your money.
Mm-hmm.
I heard them earlier mention something about kind of metering out times that persons go out. That's going to be fair for some, but not fair for others. Now, I remember the thing, I called your show one time and I told you, check what's happening with these unions and what's driving them. Just keep that in mind. And another thing, the system itself is chaotic, and I'm glad Flowers spoke about it. Because I drove for a couple of years, and then when I went off to school, I saw how the system worked that was controlled by the government. And it worked to perfection. There's a reason they're fighting it. There's a reason they're fighting it. And they know that it can work with the government's planning. Charging stations, in fact, is going to be, a lot of them are going to be on solar, because that's what they're doing at the sports center. So it isn't that the government won't put in place charging stations. There will be put there. And I know that buses can be converted to electric. It'll save them more money. I would make, let me tell you, I know drivers who made over $400, maybe you were charging $1. I know it's gas going up. I'm not ignorant to that fact. But that's when diesel was for $2.76 a gallon. Then it went up to $3 something a gallon for diesel. But now it's like almost 3 times that, 2.5 times that. I realize that. But drivers who drive 4 people would take home sometimes $40, $50, $60, $70 a day in their pocket.
Right.
And they take that home, and then they turn in whatever they turn into the owners, and then they still get 35% if that's the agreement they have with the owners at the end of the week.
Okay, they're looking at each other like, what are you talking about? That is not what they are facing.
No, I know what they're facing and what you're saying that they're facing. And it is, like, for instance, I know a situation that happened 3 weeks ago on Carmichael Road. One bus rammed the next bus, threw something out there, and the bus that he did that to had some elderly passengers on it. They went up to the Flamingo police station right up there on Carmichael. Things that happening. You still, like you said, they jump in the red light. It's a lot of going on. Perhaps maybe it's time to give shares to the owners, and then those that drive, give them a salary, and you'll find it'll run smoother. That's what I'm saying.
All right, thank you for calling.
You're welcome.
Y'all want to respond real quick to that, or should we go to the next caller?
The owners are nothing without the drivers. You can have 6 bus and that owner, can he drive 6 bus? No.
I don't know what this incident that happened on Carmichael Road 2-3 weeks ago, because I won't know what this incident happened 2-3 weeks ago on Carmichael Road, because I'm driving on Carmichael Road 16 a.m. I never see that happen. But this gentleman needs to remember, he's talking about the 80s and the 90s. We are in 2022.
Right.
2022. We're like 20-something years ago.
Right.
The world has changed. The Bahamas has changed. The cost of living has gone up drastically.
Obviously, yes.
Whatever they was driving back then, whatever agreement or deals they was doing,
they'll no longer exist.
I was in school and probably catching bus, so I cannot even answer to that.
All right, we have a call on the line. Caller, welcome. Hi, welcome to GPS.
Yes, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm fine, Miss Michelle. My name is Leroy Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
I call in the very end on the show.
Okay. Go ahead, we're listening.
All right. I understand you're talking about electric vehicles.
As a consideration, go ahead.
Yeah, but even the government, when they come with the pilot project, they didn't bring electric vehicles.
Okay. Which pilot project you talking about?
The pilot project with the government did that.
When?
Group 17.
That
That service.
was right before the COVID-19. They had this pilot project where they was running these 17 buses.
Okay.
Yeah, and they didn't even bring electric vehicles.
Right.
But my main thing, Ms. Michelle, what I call the rain on, about the strike what we did have, and what Mr. Harrison had put something in the papers and was saying that the drivers doesn't own the buses and they park the people's buses. And I think that's kind of hypocritical, and I'll tell you why. When the government say that they need to pay national insurance for the drivers, they say the drivers do not wait for them. The drivers are self-employed. All right?
Okay.
And the gentleman, Mr. Harrison, he owns buses. He only drives one. But he do not supply the fuel for his bus driver. Bus drivers themselves have to buy the fuel. They don't have the driver buy fuel.
Right.
And that state money used, but they parked the people bus. They did not park the people bus. They parked their bus. But they told the government that the drivers do not wait for them. The drivers are self-employed. So at the end of the day, they got a quota they have to give to the owner. And they don't care whether you make it or don't make it. They only want the quota.
Yeah, I know about that.
If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that gentleman, Mr. Harrison, he is a hypocrite. Because he got drivers on the road. He only drive one bus, right? He's the union president. But he ain't going down on the quota on the buses, his driver driving to say, well, all right, because of the price of diesel, we can go down on this quota.
Right.
If you understand what I'm saying. His quota still remain the same.
Okay.
Now, for him talking about who own bus and who don't own bus, if you really look at it, he don't own them buses either. The bank own them. All right? The bus I drive in, I personally own that. The other lady who been on, she personally own that bus. The other gentleman who been on, he own his bus. So how you can tell me that they park the people bus if I in agreement with a lease from you? All right? That's what they tell the government when the government asks national insurance for them to pay national insurance, you know. They say the drivers, them are self-employed. The driver paid them. They do not pay the driver. All of a sudden, Mr. Harrison can come up and put in the papers that the drivers park the people bus. If you understand what I'm saying.
I hear you.
The drivers park their bus.
All right.
They in an agreement with the lease.
According to you, their bus or the bank bus. Thanks for calling, eh? let these gentlemen respond before we go to a quick break. Gentlemen, what do y'all have to say with that caller?
Mr. Harrison is not nowhere affiliated with the Bahamas Unified Bus Drivers Union.
Don't get y'all mixed up.
Don't get us mixed up. He is self-proclaimed CEO and president of the UTC, or the United PTC, something company.
Okay.
What I don't think even is registered inside the book. A self-proclaimed president.
Okay. All right.
But
So
get to the insurance part though.
you got to talk into the microphone.
But what the gentleman said is correct.
Mm-hmm.
So he's saying that the drivers bought the people's buses and the drivers don't own anything.
Mm-hmm.
What he needs to answer is one important question, and national insurance needs to answer this question. Is he paying his workers that are working for him their national insurance? That's all we have to ask. Are you paying the national insurance for those gentlemen that are working for you? Because one of them is up in age, and I know sooner or later he'll be retiring and be looking for his pension.
All right. Things that make you go, All right, we're gonna we gotta take a break.
Okay.
Remember, write down what that thought is that you want to express so you don't forget, but we gotta go to a break. So let's go to this commercial break. And then when we come back, we're going to continue the conversation with members of the Bahamas Unified Bus Drivers Union. I can get it right. The Bahamas Unified Bus Drivers Union. Bubdu. Okay, that's easy to remember. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting sugar-free berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
It's gotten harder and harder to get your daily requirement of vital nutrients from food alone. Without additional vitamin and nutrient support, your health and well-being can suffer drastically. That's why Z-Radical was specifically formulated. It combines a blend of antioxidant-rich vitamins, minerals, and botanicals with the protective powers of fucoidan to help fill the gaps from lack of nutrients in your foods. The core of Z-Radical is fucoidan, a naturally occurring polysaccharide that helps stimulate immune reaction, protecting you against inflammation and oxidative stress. We harvest this powerful mineral-rich nutrient from brown seaweed, harvested only from the world's most pristine ocean waters to ensure the purest quality. It's then extracted using cold process technology to ensure maximum levels of bioavailability. Then we add essential vitamins that help to protect your cardiovascular and nervous systems and are crucial for optimal immune and neurological function. Z-Radical also includes a proprietary blend of delicious antioxidant-rich fruits and berries. This great-tasting combination helps your body combat free radical imbalances that can contribute to a variety of degenerative conditions like arthritis and heart disease. Z-Radical. Experience the power of fucoidan with antioxidant-rich berries, 8 essential vitamins, and more to provide you with potent health benefits. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
On Global 99.5 FM. I'll put it more. There, yeah, but stand it up a bit more so that you can actually, and then you gotta get the microphone. There you go, we're trying to get the camera into the stream so that so we can see him on our Facebook feed. The telephone number is called 260-271. 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, or WhatsApp message at 8010271, 8010271. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome to GP.
Good afternoon again, Michelle. Michelle again. Yeah. I wanted to shift system that you talk about.
Right.
Okay. Right. Okay. In the time of COVID, we had in the Cable Beach area. That's number 10 and number 12. We did the shift. Well, we did the shift started from 5 o'clock. 12 o'clock in the day. And we had the evening shift from 1 o'clock to 6:30, 7 o'clock. And while that shift system was operating, the guys made mention that they're experiencing shift split shift, that they make more money than they will make if they go home shift. What am I saying is this? Is that the system should work. Now, the shift system was implemented by my government. I came up with the idea of the system, the numbers, the other routes, the 14, the 15, the 16, they are not the shift system. They are not the system because they know that it works together. Now, the first thing we have now, so any kind of system is the vested system, your tenant itself. That's
I need you to turn down what you're listening to because you're getting a bad
you still getting fish? Yeah. Yeah, the best right now for the bus station is the 10 and 12. If you drive downtown right now, you see a line. And we systematically, every day, that we goes in a line system. And it alleviates the chaos in the transportation. And if we were to continue with the shift system, it would be so much better for all of us. We were buying every week. Because guys told me half a tank of the shift system to using a full tank on a full shift. And you carry home more money.
Thank you so much for calling. And here's the thing. Y'all talking about drivers driving 14 hours a day. That is not safe. Because you're talking about fatigue. And I don't know if I want to be driving with somebody who's been driving 15 hours, 13 and a half hours, and it's obviously tired and wrong. That is not good. So why is this shift system describing not more bikes across all numbers? Is this something else that you guys have recommended that has been rejected? What is the situation there?
Y'all talking about driving 14 hours a day? That is not safe. Because I don't know if I want to be driving with somebody who's been driving for 13 hours, 13 and a half hours. So why is this shift system that he's describing not more widespread that has been rejected?
It have to be signed off by government. Remember now, we are underneath the Road Traffic Act. We are mandated underneath the Road Traffic
Use his
Act.
microphone on the feed to see if that makes a difference.
So,
Jason, we're getting weird feedback.
Unless
All right, so
government
no, I'm talking
sign
about
off
Colbert's camera, not
on the
you.
shift
You don't touch
system,
yours. I'm talking about Colbert's
it
thing.
cannot
His
be
microphone is
implemented.
muted.
We cannot do that ourselves.
All right.
We'll be going against the law.
Okay.
Which would be
we can work that out. Okay. All right. So you wanted to. So you're saying that all of that is a part of the plan that was suggested, but so far no kind of positive response.
No, because the is like I said, and I keep repeating, they want the system to fail. They want the Bahamian public to lose faith in the public service bus drivers. They want that to happen. But you still have plenty who have faith in us and know the goodness of us and the goodness of our heart. Sometimes, see, the persons don't see the good part about drivers. You may come on the bus, especially if you run a route for many years, you get to know your people. So sometimes the person may come on the bus, driver, and need to ride up the road. No problem. Sit down, I carry you. That ain't no problem. Sometimes the children come on the bus. See, sometimes even at times we are fathers, the children who come on the bus. A mother or father may come say, driver, this my son, man. Make sure I drop him off to the school. So we have to make sure set that child in the front of our bus and drop them to their school where they're going to and make sure they get across that road in that gate. But persons don't see that.
Talk with the senior citizens. Our good senior citizens.
And even our good,
even
our good senior citizens.
We just go above and beyond the call of duty for our good senior citizens. Because a lot of your I'm not going to rephrase that. A lot of your people, you'll have your mothers and fathers over there. They catch bus, but in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, some of them got to go to the clinic. The bus driver is there. Some of them coming from the food store. The bus driver is there. During heavy rain, the bus driver is there. And of course, the sun is the bus driver is there.
And while we still at it, Miss Malcolm, one thing we were trying for umpteen years now is the NIB. Has been a vexing problem. We have met with persons in charge of NIB. They keep telling us, well, there's a breakdown because you have owner, driver, but inside the Road Traffic Act, it states that anybody who you decide as to give your vehicle to, they're now your employee, you're the employer. So that means you have to pay that NIB.
Okay.
And for years, this was neglect. That's why the system is broken the way it is. They don't want to address that. And why? Because too many persons with highfalutin names mix up with this busing system.
Mix up how?
Holding plates.
When you say highfalutin name, how highfalutin you talking? How high up?
It's the way you spell your name and how you pronounce it.
Okay. What does that mean exactly?
It's how you spell your name and how you pronounce it.
Okay.
That means you're a big shot.
Okay.
I ain't touching Reverend so-and-so. I ain't touching businessman so-and-so. I'm not touching politician so-and-so.
So do you think that is why the taxi drivers were able to get relief after 30 years to now be their own owners of their plates, as opposed to you guys? Why this hasn't happened for you yet?
We are still fighting for that. We have plenty drivers who own their own bus and cannot get a plate.
What has the minister said in response to that request? Because I'm assuming that you have put this to the minister as well.
It's something that they're looking into. You shouldn't have to look into something that's already broken. You have one person that have 10, 11 plates.
27.
Or 27 plates.
No, that's ridiculous.
And they don't even know how to reverse a bus from out their yard.
Yeah.
They don't even know how to start it.
Yeah.
They never even own a bus.
They never own a bus.
Doesn't have a public service license.
But it's supposed to be that back in the day, you were issued a plate to better yourself, to help your family.
Right.
But some people end up getting rich off of this.
Mm-hmm.
How could you charge a man $300, $400, $500 per month to rent something that isn't yours?
And the worst part about it is, I buy a bus, I own the bus. I have to put the bus, because you, Miss Malcolm, your bus franchise name, Malcolm's Bus Service.
Right.
You don't own the bus. But I need a plate. So I come to lease your plate from you. I have to put my bus in your name, meaning you own a bus that you don't own.
You know, I have a relative who is a public service driver. He has to pay the person who owns the plate.
No. That person don't own no plate.
Well, the person who
holding
the plate.
Managing.
He's paying the person who's holding the plate. He has worked out an agreement with the owner of the bus to sort of lease to own.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So he's paying the bus owner with a view to owning the bus after a certain period.
That's like paying the bank.
Right. So he's paying them.
Right.
He's responsible for gas.
That's right.
He's responsible for maintenance.
That's right.
If there's an accident, he's responsible for paying the insurance
to have that bus fixed.
To have the bus fixed.
And the person's vehicle if he's in the wrong.
Exactly. So he's responsible for everything. But at the end of the day, if gas goes up, he's still got to meet those requirements. Ain't nobody going down on his fees. So he's still got to pay the person who managing the plate the same amount of money, because they ain't reducing nothing. he still has to pay the bus owner that he's leasing same amount of money. If there's some kind of accident or something, the bus owner is the first one on the line to collect the check from the insurance company. It is madness. What? So I want you to know, I understand. Because like I said, I have a relative who's living in this warped system, you know? So something has to give. I get it. You know, like someone said when y'all had the sick out the other day, not sick out, but when y'all didn't provide service that day. Yeah. That by the time you already paid all these different people you got to pay out, what you have to take home? What do you have left to take home? How are you surviving?
Yes, because at the end of the day, you and the person who probably, if you driving the bus for somebody, their quota might have been 150 to 180 when it was a peak time when we were making the money. Now they might have dropped it to 120.
Mm-hmm.
So you make that 120 for the person who owned the bus. You'll have the let's sum it up like this. At the end of the day, say if you make 230, 240, you have to put 90 to 100 plus dollars in that as fuel. $120 for the owner. You go home with nothing. And then Saturday and Sunday,
that's yours to keep.
It's supposed to be a day.
Right.
But suppose it rained. The week before, look at all that rain almost every day. So drivers them not make one red cent.
Right.
And you have kids that you need to make sure that they are good. You need to pay rent. You need to pay water, light, all of those things.
You missed the most important thing. Food.
And food.
Have you been to the food store lately, Miss Malcolm?
Listen, I go into the food store yesterday, I pick up a handful of things. And when I say handful, I mean a handful.
A little basket full.
I don't even know that's a full basket. When the girl tell me my bill was $92, I look around to see if somebody else put their grocery and my $92 for what? She say, yeah, I know. I say, well, I'll be doggone. So trust me, I get it. It ain't easy out there. You know?
And then not bashing.
But it ain't easy for the people who relying on your service either.
Right.
So what are you to do? How can we find a happy medium where y'all get some relief without breaking their backs? What is a possibility that you are recommending that should happen? Because y'all turned down the minister's offer for a stipend. You said that's not going to solve your problem.
We never knew what that stipend was.
Oh,
so whoever
the minister didn't give you a figure?
No, she didn't give us no figure. So she only came on the TV and said that she will be going to speak with the Minister of Finance to give us a stipend. Now, after Monday, with the press release, said that we rejected her offer.
But you always never really told what the offer was.
We never knew what the offer was, and we're still waiting to know what is this offer.
Well, what a time in Dumfries Church. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS. Please turn down whatever you're listening to us on because we're getting feedback. Listen to us.
Hello, hi, good afternoon. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Hi, okay. This is Rudolph Taylor.
Hi.
The president of the Bahamas Unified Bus Drivers Union.
Okay.
Yeah, and what when we came together as a union, especially when I joined the union, I looked forward for better opportunities for the drivers.
Right.
And over the years, it has been a long road for the outgoing president, which was Freddie Farrington, Coburn Cooper, and also Samuel Taylor, along with Mr. Jacob Rails and others. And for some, it reached a point where the drivers have started to get frustrated. And so they look for more answers. We try to keep the peace as much as possible in talking to our members. But it was a breaking point when the fuel started to get higher, because they started to feel as if everything was falling on a deaf ear.
Okay.
So the drivers wanted to know exactly what's going on. And so it didn't take nothing much for them to be frustrated to say something has to break. And so Monday, that's what it boiled down to. Sat down and discussed with some of the fellas as to what is what. And we know the motoring public relies on the busing system. That's our last resort that we ever want to do. We never want to do that to the public. But when it's frustrating to the drivers, knowing that they're out here and what they're dealing with, it tends to apply pressure to those. They don't get the pressure of the road, they have the pressure of the fuel, they have pressure of the police, and the list goes on. Some customers ain't as friendly as others. So they have situations that they have to deal with on a daily basis. Plus home problems or home responsibilities they have to deal with that they can't meet.
Right.
So all of these are pressing issues that we try to get addressed. Now, the gentleman there, they bring out a valid point. These issues isn't something that came about just yesterday.
Right.
These are issues that were around before I even became the president.
Even in good times.
Yes, before I became the president.
Mm-hmm.
And so I look forward to passing the baton. As you see, Samuel Taylor is a good spokesman, and he articulated his speech very well when it comes to explaining things. And so at the end of the day, I'm only here for a period of time. And the buck keeps on moving. But we're looking for things to be accomplished. And having meetings is one thing, but getting it done is another. And so we try to be as peaceful and as cordial as possible. Because we know we have a country that is steeped in when you can't get your way, it turns into violence. And we've seen that with the crime element. And so we are in no shape or form trying to get that way. So that's why we try to keep our drivers calm. We try to give them something concrete to hold on.
Mm-hmm.
But when something concrete, and you all told us that last year, you all told us that the year before last, you all told us that 3 years ago,
right.
6 years ago. And so that's where the problem comes in.
Understood.
You understood? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got it.
So there's only so much we could tell our drivers. And they are family-oriented men and women, because we have them all out there. So we just want to listen there and persons to hear us and see our plight. And then from there, they'll know exactly what we're going through. We hear persons calling saying, oh, they rogue drivers, they was doing this, they doing that. We have drivers that, like you said, who goes out early in the morning to pick up those single mothers to make sure they get over the bridge, to the foot of the bridge on time to hike a ride over. Those ones who go into the deep west. But you don't hear nobody talking about that when they sleep in their bed snoring. But we are out. Sometimes late into the evening. We had one driver that was shot. I don't think they even got the bullet from him yet after he got robbed and shot.
Mm.
When he went to the hospital, you know, they told him, when he went to the police station reported, that he improperly dressed, he needed a ticket. But these things the public don't hear. They don't hear it. All they hear is the negative. Oh, they was riding on sidewalks, they speeding, they doing this. And it's the fun in between who does it. You don't hear about the good drivers.
Mm.
But one is something negative, and most of the persons who are negative, they don't utilize the bus system because they don't appreciate the bus system. We have riders that ride with us. There's some of them refuse to give us less than $2. Refuse. Because you know why? They appreciate the busing system. Because they need it to get to and from work. And some persons who don't utilize the busing system, they just want to be critical of the busing system, and they get their dogmatic viewpoint of the busing system, and that's it. And ain't nothing to change that. So we got to make their remarks, but everybody's open to their own opinion. And so that's where we are at this point in time in this juncture.
All right. Thank you so much for calling.
Yes, thank you so much as well.
One thing we know, though, it can't continue the way it is right now. You know, they say if you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, that is insanity. We looking like some lunatics right now. We have to fix this problem one way or the other. The last portion of the show, I want to hear some concrete ideas from y'all about how we do that to the degree where y'all are happy, the public is happy, the government is happy. Let's talk about that in the last portion of the show. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Less is love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun. Okay, welcome back to the show, guys. We have a little conversation during the break that's spilling over into the live broadcast. The telephone numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, or 3260272, 3260272. WhatsApp line 8010271. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hello.
Hi, you're on the air.
Hey, good day, Ms. Malcolm.
Hi.
Ms. Malcolm, I want to really put my little 5 cents in for the bus drivers now.
Mm-hmm.
Why I say that, especially the ones on Carmichael Road. They did do an excellent job. I've been catching the bus for from 2003 up until now on Carmichael Road. I have to go all the way up East Street to my daddy. I am physically blind, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just catch the bus by myself.
Okay.
I've never get treated the way I hear JD said what he been through on no bus. The bus drivers them, when they come on the bus, they'll say, hold on, let him sit right there. And they does a good job.
Mm-hmm.
It's Carmichael Road. Drive
Okay.
Carmichael Road a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But now, I want to find out from the union, brothers them with you, what their plan is concerning the disability people them. I hear them give the price for the adults $2, for the old folks $1.25 over there, children $20.25 or something like that, and ones within school 50 cents. I didn't hear them say nothing about the disability ones, the people with in disability state.
Okay, let's let them respond. Thank you so much for calling.
Huh?
Thank you so much for calling. Let's let
Could I
them
listen to
respond.
their response? Because I ain't close to the radio. And
Well,
then when they don't
but just
respond,
stay on the
I hang up.
phone and then you'll be able to hear their response. Gentlemen, just stay on the phone and you'll be able to hear their response.
Oh, well, I will do that.
Okay, gentlemen.
Good afternoon. The rate for disabled persons that was never addressed in no time. Yeah. It was never addressed.
So something y'all could
like
look
that
into.
can be addressed so that you can have a rate just for disabled persons, just like the senior citizens and children.
Okay, there you have it. Thank you so much for calling. All right, gentlemen, we have 16 minutes left in the show. What is the way forward? How do we make you guys happy without breaking the back of the public with the involvement of the government? What do you see as the way out of this conundrum?
Well, the way out of it, especially with the fuel. The fuel is the most thing that is killing us at this moment right now.
Right.
The fuel. But if the government can somehow merge with the fuel distributors and try get them to mark down, do something. If they do some kind of lower tax on the fuel, then we can more better maintain ourselves.
You and everybody else.
Right. We can better maintain ourselves. But on another point is certainly other things that we need in place that's still falling on deaf ears.
Such as
the proper bus stops.
Mm-hmm.
On some routes, you have a long road and you have like one bus stop. And then persons need to now start to, if you see one person like 5 steps away from you and they're catching the bus, walk to that person too. Instead of the bus stopping here, there.
Right.
Sometimes you on the bus, you stop, let off one person. Soon as you pull off, you shift to go in second gear, bus stop.
No, there should be designated bus stops.
It should be designated bus stops.
Yeah.
We met with gentleman from the Department of the Works, Ministry of Works, where we draft out and give him all bus stops for every route.
Mm-hmm.
Up to the day, it's still not there. Over 3 years, and still not there.
Mm.
And we're still running behind him to put these down. Why? That alleviates our members from getting tickets by the police.
Mm-hmm.
And these police officers, they know they should use their discretion. There's no bus stop in certain areas. And there's no place to pull off the road, especially if you have a high sidewalk. So if a bus stop and it puts on its hazard lights, persons in the back and the police should know, hey, he's at a stop because he is dropping on somebody and picking up.
Right.
It only takes a second for one to get off and come back on. But some officers don't use their discretion. They tap. Give me a driver's license.
So you all face a lot of ticketing as
So
a
you
result
face
of
a
not
lot of
having
tickets. And
proper bus
especially in this
stops.
kind of time, plenty of drivers receive numerous tickets especially when you come to the Frederick Street area. That's another thing what we're trying to address with the commissioner. We're trying to meet with the last commissioner where we were pushed aside for some reason. Now we're going to try and meet with this commissioner. On Frederick Street, there's a problem. Drivers come in there, driver, let me see your public service license, your badge, this thing and the next thing. The driver goes and make his loop on his road, come back around, the same police again, driver, let me see your public service license. Come on.
Like you can change from the last time I showed it to you.
Like time as you go around and come back, you already have a warrant, and it isn't nice. Then you have our other comrades who are in the public service field. They let them just go past. Whoop, TN, go past. PN, what is private scheduled buses, the tour buses, go past. They don't stop them, but they want to stop the driver. It isn't fair to us.
Okay.
It isn't fair to us. And also right in front of government publications, where there's a bus stop there for the route 1719, 21s. That there, the signs are starting to fade out. We have met numerous times and told them to please put that sign back on the ground, redo the pink, and put the pole back up. But like I say, when the police pass there, you are on a designated bus stop. In the Road Traffic Act states that once a bus is at a signage that says bus stop, you're at a bus stop and you're not supposed to move until you have your passengers embark and outbark or get off. And then you sit for 2-3 minutes and then move along. But fail theirs. But
Jason, can you adjust the camera, please? We lost his camera.
Yeah,
your battery died. Yeah, okay.
So also, like I mentioned earlier, our uniforms. We are going to go against that signature, but we're going to have our drivers them uniform.
I don't understand why there's opposition to that. That's just plain and simple common sense. But anyway, okay. So those are aesthetic problem solutions. But money talks. How are we going to fix the situation where you guys are happy, the public is happy? What more would you like to see the government do? Do you want to know specifically what the stipend could be, how long the stipend could be, or are you only hearing, give us this increase? Tell us what some solutions are that you could possibly live with.
We'd like to know exactly what this stipend is.
And how long?
Because when we first came back on the road, we came on the road at a loss, at 50% capacity.
Right.
And we just wasn't taking home nothing. The price of fuel didn't go up as yet, but yet all day you were driving and only thing you was doing is making fuel money. That's it. Some of the owners had some kind of lenience and dropped the quotas very low so that your driver can survive. But we need to come back to the table. The solution, let us know exactly what that stipend is, how long it would be, what it is. Because, we if you want to give us a fuel voucher, that fuel voucher, would that be $150, $200 per day? Because you can't afford to give us a fuel voucher, $200
that's a lot of money.
so
that's
a
a
week.
lot of money. Yeah.
For 228 buses on the road.
Right. And at the end of the day, you may say, well, the government is paying for it, but that's still coming from the taxpayers.
Right.
So the taxpayers still paying.
And then
right. Remember now, they're overtaxing on fuel.
Okay.
So that's what they're putting. I think $3 to $4.
$3 to $4
on a gallon.
Mm.
And the gallon is 7 something. They're like overtaxing on fuel.
Mm. Okay, you had some other points you wanted to make?
Yeah, and we really need to know what that stipend is.
Right.
Really need to. Really need to know what that stipend is all about. We can all sit down as grown adults and come to something that is very agreeable. Once we know that, we go to our members, see what our members say on it, and then we can get back on it.
Is there a meeting planned with the minister?
A meeting is planned sometime next week. We got an email sometime today.
Okay.
A meeting will be held with a once as held, and we can come to some agreement. Then we'll go to our members and let our members say yay or nay on it.
And what happens if the members say nay? What is next if they're not happy with the offer?
Then we'll have to go back to the drawing board again and tell them, well, this what our members them say, we should go up or down on this or go middle ways or whatever.
Or the members can flat out say no.
Flat out say no, but we cannot make no decision without the members saying or telling us how we should make that decision on their behalf.
I understand. Wow. I don't know what to say, gentlemen. I mean, this is a very complicated situation. I understand everybody's position. I certainly understand your position. Trust me, like I said, I have a relative who's in the business, and I know how hard it is for him. And but I also sympathize with the persons who use the busing system, who themselves, many of them, just trying to catch themselves. You know, it's hard out. It's rough out there.
But we are very sympathetic, because if you stop the bus and you come on the bus and you give us $1, we just wave it off. You come on the bus and you say, driver, well, I ain't got it today. Let's go. You go on the week. You need to take care of your family just as well as me. So,
a customer that you know.
especially if it's a customer you know.
And you come with mine.
Right. And, we have plenty customers, they appreciate this busing system. They appreciate their drivers. Some who talk bad about the busing system, they don't even catch a bus. They don't know how to catch a bus. And if they catch one, they are like, oh, I didn't know the bus was like this. And, but
matter of fact, let's get something straight. Because a lot of people believe that it's just over the hill people or people who eat it. No. Listen carefully. Lawyers is catch the bus. Doctors is catch the bus. Nurses is catch the bus. Police officers catch the bus. Bankers is catch the bus.
Well, I dare say that if we had a really very good functioning bus system, everybody be catching the bus. Because who wants to be paying all this money for gas, So,
But see, the problem is not really that, the system functions, okay? If there's a breakdown, that bus is fixed because it is privately owned. You don't really want government owning anything, especially in the bus system, because look, they can't even manage the city dump. And they subsidize that quick. They privatize that quick that they can do it. The garbage truck them breaking down all over the road, they can't even come to fix it. If a bus break down with you, and if that cannot be fixed right there and then, you may see another bus pull up behind it, pull them to the yard for it to get fixed. Okay, people is look at us, but understand. Yes, our mechanics are a little old, but our mechanics are good. Now we shuttle to some of our good mechanics, Lynn down there on East Street, Oscar off of Soldier Road, Jean, Lily in the back of Nassau Village,
Mosley,
Nigel, Fox Hill, Nigel, Fire Trail.
Yeah.
The old Nigel down the Fire Trail. Tony is a mobile mechanic, we call him, he comes. These guys are the people that keeps the bus system running.
Right.
Okay? But people don't, you don't see a car of tanks with these fellas. You don't even see this. Matter of fact, he could be walking or driving, doing something, and you don't even know that this is a man that has the transportation industry in the Bahamas moving.
But all we're doing is just asking the relevant authorities to listen to us.
Oh, wait.
Listen to
we got to thank Clifford in the pocket. You don't thank Clifford here is he's the
electrical man.
He's the electrical man. And he's really up in age, but if you don't send the tanks out there, that's another thing.
Yeah, but we just would like the relevant authorities to give us a listening ear, because certain things that we even brought down all of the information stating that please go and check this route out. Check that route out. We have this rogue driver we need you to deal with. How it is that you can take a rogue driver on the plate off that bus now, and the next 2 hours, he back on the road. Something is wrong, but yet you still saying that the system needs to be fixed. If the union trying to get the system in order, we can head up with you. But you ain't helping the union to get it straight because you want the system to stay the way it is. Something is wrong. You don't want our help. You don't want our help. Direct contacts, you contact and nothing happen. And then when the public cry and make noise, then you turn around and say, well, the drivers. No, it's not the drivers. It's falls on you who is in charge and acting, letting things just fall by the wayside. One time ago, we could have get the routes, a book with all the routes and the bus names, bus plates. And if we see a bus off route, we call and we say, look here, this bus is off route because we already have it on list. We can't even receive that now.
Wow. Well, gentlemen, my time is gone. I want to thank you both for being here today. And please keep us abreast of once you do have that meeting with the minister, whether or not you guys are happy with what came out of it. All right. Thank you so much for being here today. All right. It's been a busy news week. And tomorrow we're going to talk about the week that was. What do we have to cover? Airport workers all of a sudden caught something that had everybody else sick. Taxi drivers, bus drivers, teachers threatening action, giving the government 7 good days. The defendant in the Adrian Gibson case accepts a plea deal. Shelley Lewis says she can join us on the desk tomorrow. Let's hold her to that. We got plenty to talk about. I'm Michelle Malcolm. Thank you so much for being a part of the show today. And have a good afternoon. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Global 99.